Hey guys, we're back on this 73 Mercury Cougar XR7 with the 351 Cleveland. This is a car that we got several videos back on it. Well, previously we have done videos of getting it running. This car has been in storage for 40 years. And we got it started, it runs fairly good, but now we're gonna do some brakes. And this is gonna be about doing rear brakes on this vehicle. This is gonna be, this is a drum brake setup. And we're gonna get started. We're gonna replace the brakes, the brake shoes, the wheel cylinders, and all the brake hardware. So here we go. We're gonna start by taking this wheel off. One of the lug nuts. This comes here real handy, makes it easier. I have previously replaced or put in this a set of Magnum 500s to see what it would look. I kind of like the look, so they're staying. Originally this car came with 14-inch wheels, and this Magnum 500s are 15 by 7. So I kind of cleaned them up. I installed some new tires on it. And I like the way it looks, you know, so we're going to keep those for now. So here we go. Here the lug nut key. I lost this lug nut. And this is the way that I do the brakes. You know, I mean, you can get technical and, you know, tell me how to, this is the way I do it. And I've been doing this kind of work for a very long time. So this is the way I do it. So I had previously loosened up the wheel drum or the brake drum, so it comes out fairly easy because I already had adjusted these brakes just to see what I was looking at. So here we go. The drum looks fairly good other than some surface rust, so it's not so bad. So this is the two main tools that I'm going to be using, and these are specifically to do drum brakes on any car. So I had acquired this a long time ago, actually. Now that I think about it, I had these tools probably for over 30 years, and I still have them. You know, normally people don't even know what they're for. So when the tools are in your toolbox and they remain there, it's because people don't know what they're for. So they kind of tend to stick around a little bit longer in your toolbox. So this is to remove springs right here, and this one is to remove all the other springs. So you're gonna see how easy this will come out. Put it right there. We're gonna start by doing the springs on the top here. Doing this one. How easy this is. Goes one right there. We're gonna put everything to the side. The other one. There we go. Then we're going to take this other tool here, going to remove it. Push down on it. It removes real easy, real efficiently, without you feeling like those springs are going to come and hit you in the face. Then we'll do the other side just like that. So easy to do this. It's a little harder to put it back together. You do one side at a time, that way if you get in trouble, you can always refer to the other side. So we got that done there. We'll go over here, kind of work our way this way. And it just kind of comes apart on its own. We're going to be reusing this little extensions that come for the wheel cylinder, but it's kind of stuck on here, so let me knock on it, see if I can get it out. Like I said, this brake's not being removed for 40 years. So I'm going to have to get this out of here eventually. There we go. The old brake shoe looks pretty rusty, pretty bad shape, but you know, it still had a lot of meat left on it, but I didn't want to chance it. I got some new brake shoes for it. So let me set this to the side. Here goes one. Let me take care of some of the stuff that wants to fall out. The brake adjuster, we're gonna reuse this one. We can also reuse this little cable here. But we're gonna replace all the springs. This is the parking brake. The bracket there. Got these little nails that we call them. They call the brake shoe in place. And this part right here is for the parking brake. Just kind of twist out here. It'll come right out. A little bit harder part is to remove this little bracket. We're gonna reuse this on the new brake shoes. And let me get this stuff out of here. Oops, almost hit it in the face, but it came right out. Need to get this opened here so I can remove this right here. And I don't know if you can see good enough on camera or not, but I normally just take a screwdriver here and open it up. Let's see if I can get this opened up. If not, I'll have to do it a different way. Just give me a minute, let me try to get this off. And let's see what I can do about getting that off. Can you stop that for a minute? I was able to get the parking brake cable bracket that goes on the rear shoe. I was able to get that off. You know, it comes with this little keeper, a little flat washer, kind of like a wavy washer that keeps it springy in there. But I was able to get that off. And I just wanted to show you, I got the brake shoes here. I got the hardware kit right here that will do both sides. And then eventually we're going to be doing, well, here's the wheel shoulders on both sides. And eventually we're going to be doing the brake hoses, the brake hose for the rear. And then we're going to move to the front, and then probably a different video. We're going to do the brake hoses for the front, and here they are. And we also going to be doing the brake pads for the front. So here we go. So I just wanted to show you that. So we're going to put this to the side for now. And then we're going to find the rear shoe that goes for this setup. You know, the front and rear shoes are different. One is bigger than the other, primary and secondary. You can tell because this one's got more material going up. So what we need for the rear, the big one, or the longer one, should we say, with more braking material, always goes to the back. And this is the one. In comparison, the one that goes to the front is a lot shorter. And if you misplace them, you know, they have a tendency to lock up when you brake. So make sure you do it correctly. So this has been in the box for a long time. I got it from an old stock, but you know, it's got a little surface rust here, but it's not gonna hurt anything, so it's perfectly fine. So I just want to make sure that it's about the same, and it does. So it's a good match. I'm gonna go ahead and put a wire wheel to this real quick to get some of the surface rust off of it. So let me show you. barely dragging. That kind of feels pretty good. We can always adjust it later after we get the complete brake job done. But that's what it takes to do some brake shoes on the rear of this, some of these old Fords and Mercuries. And hope that helps. I'm gonna do the other side of camera. I don't want to bore you with the details. It's just the same as this side. It's just on the other side. So gotta remove all these old parts that are just hanging out here. It's all springs and stuff that came out of it. And this is it for this video. Like I said, I'm gonna do the other side off camera, and then I'm gonna start on the front. Thanks for watching. Well, it's the next day, and we're going to continue to work on the 73 Mercury Cougar now on the front brakes. I have previously, and also we're going to replace this brake hose on the front. I have previously put some WD-40 on that to get that off. It looks like these brakes are old and stuff, but you know, they were kind of working a little bit, but I want to replace them. We already did the rear already, along with the rear brake hose. And so we're gonna tackle this one side here. So here we go. We're gonna start by removing the caliper bolts. Let me turn this over to the right so I can get better access to it. There it is. I got new pads for it and a new hose, and also we're going to replace, there's some rubber bushings that go in this hose for this old design that Ford used back in the day. And if you don't replace this rubber bushings, it'll make a rattling noise even if you tighten it down going down the road. So ask me how I know that. Been there, done that. So I had ordered those bushings. So I'm gonna put those bushes in there as well. So I'm gonna take this to the bench and remove this brake hose along with this pad that is in here. But before we do that, I'm gonna take out the rotor, the brake rotor. We're gonna check out the bearings, and we're gonna probably just do a light sanding on the surface of the rotor, or the brake rotor on both sides. You know, this is just going to be a normal driver. I mean, the reason for that is just to get some of the rust off. apparently when I move the car back and forth, this must have been working a little bit, because you can see how I took the rust off a little bit on this side. But I'm gonna go over it with some sandpaper just to get the rust off of it. But I need to check those bearings and see what kind of conditions those are in. I'm gonna put this caliper over here. What the rubber bushings look like. They go inside that hole from behind. And like I said, if you don't have these, then your caliper is gonna rattle going down the road, and believe me, it's pretty annoying. Been there, done that. And it's, if you're not familiar with this kind of setup, it'll be kind of hard to figure out what's going on with it, because you won't be able to see. Once you put the bolt on, you won't be able to see there's anything missing there. But you see how the bolt just kind of moves back and forth without the bushing. And that's the noise that you're going to hear when you're going down the road. It's very, very annoying. So what I need to do, I need to put a little grease and just slide these in like that, And this is going to take care of that. I had already ordered local parts house had these, and I was very surprised, very inexpensive. So when you do a brake job, make sure on these old cars, to make sure that to replace these when you're doing the frying pads, unless they're in real good shape, but I doubt it. They disintegrate very, very easily. So I'm gonna go ahead and put those in there, and be right back. The last time I tried to put them in, they're not that easy to put in, so it takes some maneuvering, some pushing and pulling, and get them in there just right. So we'll see. Okay, so we're back. We're going to go ahead and I will install the rubber bushings over here. I kind of struggle with them off camera, but that's how they go. This is what they look like. So we're going to just kind of set up this brake pad goes in first. This is going to go for that. Just like this, like so. Right all the way to the back. Then we have the brake rudder that goes here. Right around the surface with some sandpaper just to get off the rust off of the surface. I already installed the inside bearing, greased it, installed the seal with it. Just like that. Already greased the outer bearing, and that's what it looks like. For the washer and the nut. Sorry about the lighting. I got a drop light right there in the shop lights, but I know it's kind of dark back in here. So just black. That's what you can do in circumstances. Then we're gonna torque down the bearing container nut. Using pliers. What I do is I snug it down, give it a couple of turns. Snug it down a little bit like that. I'm not putting a lot of pressure on it. This is almost supposed to be almost and tight, but not too loose, because what happens is when you go a few miles down the road, you develop some play here on your hub assembly. But just, you know, a little tension, but not too tight. Right there, you got the retainer nut. Right here. Just kind of put that from back off. Line up the hole, and a cutter pin for it. Cutter pin in there. Now we can install the dust cap. Okay, you can use for hammer works. Doesn't take a lot of force. Just gotta cut it down. Make sure it's seated all the way around. That's it. We're not going for quality. We just want for everyday driver, and it's gonna be fine. Okay. That makes the dirt and excess grease. Go. Okay, piece it. Now we're going to install the caliper, and then the brake covers. So the caliper goes next. I had already fought with these pins to keep this outer brake pad in place. You can hit off camera and on the bench because it took a while for that to fall in place. So, put in some fluid. There we go. And it's got that bracket. I think I left it on my workbench. Let me get it. Yeah, this is the bracket that Ford and Ford company Mercury used back in the day. So the back, and it kind of holds caliper together. Like a pane. That's what a lot of vehicles don't have that. So the position in place. Then you just right around place. All the bolts. The upper ones. On the back. They're very snug because now we have the new rubber bushings in there. And they're really tight. Sometimes you have to put a little bit of grease to make them slide a little bit better. That's what I'm going to do on this one. Just a little tiny bit. Look at the folding. So the upper one. It's got to be placed. They're not screwed in yet. So I need to make sure that the lower bolts for that bracket fit. Make sure they fit properly. See back here, it's a little bit dark, but I think we can feel for it. Got that one in. Second one. And okay. That one I can't see. So, kind of this way. Get a better look at it. Got it in there. Make sure it starts. Why it doesn't work, it's not the right bolt. That's the bolt for the line here. So what you do, again. You can see everything back there. This is going to be light. You get the cylinder here. The back one now. They won't have enough tools. So I can see back here. Sorry about it, I know it's probably going to be very dark to you all. Yeah, I got it started. Over here. Starting like that. Get the ones here started. Why I left that fan on, it's so hot out here, but I think it's going to be hard for you guys to hear. But let me turn it off, maybe it gets better on the audio. Maybe that's better on the audio. Turn that fan off. It's very hot over here in Texas. It is the high 90s. A lot of heat. Tight. Tight. There you go. smaller ones are the back of that bracket. That one tight as well. So now what we got to do is put our brake hose on. I got it right here. And with a special bolt and the special brass washers that go with it. So the way I do it is I'll make sure that it fits here first, and then I will attach it to the caliper. Kind of bend this line a little bit to make it fit, but it's flexible enough. As long as you don't overbend it, it'll go back just fine. So let me get the retainer bolt that goes there to the body. Keep it kind of straight in line. Sorry, you can't see all the details here, but this is just much how it goes. Pretty self-explanatory and easy. Down, then I'll come back and do the line as soon as I connect it to the back of the caliper. You can't see this, but this is the end of that hose, and the banjo bolt goes right through it with a brass or a copper brass washer there and there to kind of seal it so that side goes to the back of the caliper. So wash in the front, one in the back, and I'm going to go ahead and get that started. Gotta line it up just right. I think I got it started. Yeah, these hoses on all these old cars, they get real brittle and they start breaking down on the inside. Even though on the outside they look fine, but on the inside they'll break down and they would act like a one-way valve, and it'll lock up your caliper. You can do all kinds of funny things, you know, but when you're working on an old car, it's 20 years or older, and you're trying to get it back on the road, you know, the best thing to do is replace both of the brake hoses. You're working on the brakes and the one in the rear, because if not, you will have issues with it. You'll have problems with it. Been there before. We go ahead and tighten it good in the back here. I can only use a wrench, not enough room for a socket. Nice and tight. Make sure that it is not going to leak and it's going to smash out that brass washer. There you go. Feel good about that. And then I'm gonna go back over here, use my line wrench. Now let's do here. Nice and snug. The only thing left on for this brake job is to go ahead and bleed all four corners of the car. So I'll probably do that. In a little while, probably gonna need an assistant, so I need to get some help to help me. I like to manually pump a brake, or somebody help me pump the brake manually while I start bleeding each wheel, each brake, so get all the air out. But there you go, got everything in, got all that working together and everything. Got the new bushings that go here for the caliper. Got the new pads, got the new hose. We repacked the wheel bearings, we checked the bearings, we set the end plate on the bearings, and we took the rust off of the surface of the braking surface of the rotors, front and back. And I feel good about that. So this is something that needed to be done on this car. It's been sitting for 40 years. Trying to get it back on the road. Still not road worthy, but we're getting there. Next thing we gotta do, like I mentioned earlier, is we need to bleed the system. I went and tried just gravity bleeding the brakes, and I didn't think that it was gonna work, because sometimes it doesn't work, but it started dripping real good, as you can see. So it's probably gonna do it. As far as for the bleeding of the brakes, what you can do is you can open up all the bleeders. What I did, I opened up all the bleeders, all four corners, and let it sit for a minute. I'll make sure that my master cylinder was full and the gravity fed through the lines and removed all the air, and it started dripping out of both calipers in the front, and it also started dripping from the wheel cylinders in the back. So I feel pretty good about it. I mean, it may still need a manual bleed, but it was dripping so good that I think all the air is out of it. So we're gonna try that, and that's gonna conclude this session on the brakes on this vehicle. But yeah, gravity bleeding works great. If not, you can have a buddy get in there and push the brake pedal while you bleed every corner individually, starting from the furthest from the back passenger rear, and then to the other side of the rear, and then moving to the passenger front, and then the last will be the driver's front. But I went and filled it up with brake fluid, and I think that'll do it, guys. So we're gonna go with that. I'm gonna crank it up later to make sure that we have a good brake pedal, and that's gonna do it for as far as for the brakes. And we're gonna test it and see, and if they're good, they're gonna stay that way. That'll include the brake system for this car. I already replaced the master cylinder, and so I did the master cylinder replacement, all brake hoses, two in the front, one in the back, front brake pads, you know, with caliper bushings here that were rotted out. Did the wheel bearing check, and also grease the wheel bearings, clean all the rust off of the rotors. Did the same thing in the back as far as got new wheel cylinders, new brake shoes, new brake hardware, and bled everything and adjusted everything in the back. So we're good. I think that'll make it for the brakes. As far as, you know, all we need is a test drive. So that'll do it for now. Thank you.